Hi, it's me. It's Adrian from the Georgia Straight, and I'm with Mike Usinger, the most hated man in Vancouver, music editor at the Georgia Straight.
Nice to animals, by the way, and to small children and orphans, despite all evidence to the contrary.
That's half true. We're going to discuss, in concert with this week's issue of the Georgia Straight, our favorite things in music this year, and also the things that we're embarrassed to admit that we liked. Although, I believe, as Stephen What's-His-Face McBean said from Black Mountain, there is no such thing as a guilty pleasure. There's just pleasure. Do you agree with this?
Sure.
Okay, well,
wise man.
He's a very wise man with a beard. So some of the things that you picked this year.
You know what I really liked? I came back from Mexico, and I can't say that I had a very good week when I came back. I won't get into details. Let's just say when you go to Mexico, certain things happen. Unpleasant things. Sometimes they require medication. What stays in Mexico happens in Mexico. Is that the way it goes? Is that like Las Vegas?
Sure.
But despite that, I crawled off my deathbed to see Nick Cave at the Vogue Theater. And let me tell you, religious experience. The man is, in his 50s, up there, giving it like a dude in his 20s. It was like seeing Jesus and Satan on the stage at the same time, all at once. I left. And I won't say what happened when I got home, but at least it didn't happen in Nick Cave, which is what I was happy about.
What doesn't happen at Nick Cave doesn't stay at Nick Cave.
Exactly. And you, Adrian?
Well, I really, speaking of aged, I saw the Sonics, who are in their 70s. This is a band from Tacoma, Washington. They had one hit in the mid 60s called "The Witch," and it was only a regional hit. And they're still going. And they came to the Rickshaw for the first time. It's the first time in Vancouver since 1967, I believe. And I watched those old septuagenarians kick ass, as they say. It was a sold out show, and it was a heartwarming event for myself and people in my age group.
I think kick butt would be actually a more appropriate thing for television if we're working clean here. And speaking of working clean, Courtney Love at the Commodore. Speaking also of, she's not quite a septuagenarian. I think she's just pushing 50, but
I believe she's a septuagenarian.
Septuagenarian. Oh, that's good. You are good. So, Courtney Love at the Commodore. I don't think anyone was expecting very much from her, given the fact that it was Courtney Love and three other guys. I mean, if you're going to go out and tour, put whole back together. The evening didn't start great, I didn't think. And then usually, as happens, Courtney Love's immense everything, larger-than-life persona, trash-talking, foul-mouthed, cigarette smoking, chain drinking. Can you drink chains? Does that even happen? So I sort of kicked in and became a truly magnetic, life-affirming show to the point where, Courtney, just put whole back together. You'll be amazing. Trust me.
You asked me to review the band Haim, which is a buzz band.
Haim.
I went, and we all said L'Chaim after that excellent show at the Commodore. I expected it to be. This is a young band, three sisters from L.A. They're what you might call a buzz band. They're getting a lot of press, a lot of good critical reactions. So therefore, in my mind, axiomatically, that means that they should be terrible. In fact, it turns out that they were very good. So I think in this case, as we saw, Haim at the Commodore, the hype machine in this case is right. I'm going to give that. That was a 5-star review. I said it was very good. They only played for about 15 minutes because they're kids and they don't have any material. But it was an electrifying 14 and a half minutes. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Mike.
My pleasure. Things that we wish we had seen this year. Katy Perry. I wish Katy Perry would come to Vancouver because I really like Katy Perry. There's 2 reasons why I like Katy Perry, but I'm not going to get into them on television. Katy Perry, please come to Vancouver. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that. I saw Katy Perry's ex-husband, Russell Brand. This isn't a musical anecdote, but we saw Russell Brand. He brought his Messiah Complex tour to the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, and that was probably, besides Haim, one of the best performances that I saw this year. We were very partial, if you read this week's Georgia Straight, we were partial to David Bowie's comeback. And I think part of the reason is because he went away for 10 years, and then we realized what it would be like without David Bowie in our lives. It turns out it's awful. It's so much better when he's around. So I think 3 of our critics, at least, gave his new album the next day the big thumbs up. Is that right?
I believe so. I actually never listened to it, and I don't really care about David Bowie. I do like that Ashes to Ashes song, but, Let's Dance, forget it. I don't care. Just go away again. I don't care.
That's right. David Bowie, Ashes and Ashes and Let's Dance. The 2 things that he did in his entire career. Music editor of the Georgia Strait. We should maybe mention Sigur Rós.
Sigur Rós Tak. For bringing that
You're
up.
welcome.
That's Icelandic for thank you. This concert took place at Deer Lake Park. Is that what it's called?
That's exactly right.
Out in Burnaby. One of those fantastically dramatic nights where it was raining black sheets of rain. Sigur Rós took the stage, and John Lucas reviewed it for us. We named it. It was one of our best concerts again in this issue. And said that it was nothing less than mesmerizing, to the point where you had bangers in Black Sabbath jackets headbanging in the rain next to the kind of people you normally see booking vacations to Iceland and its various spas. I just threw that in there, huh? It's good. You've never been to Iceland.
I've never been to Iceland.
To
I gather that they have pixies there, though.
No, when you go to a spa, you have to completely gear down. And then they watch you to make sure that you're scrubbing every part of your body. So if you go to Iceland, you can't get away with it. Like if you're like doing what you do when you get into the spa, they'll be like, and you get shamed in front of everyone.
Which brings us full circle to Mike's Mexican problems. And I guess we should probably wrap it up with that.
Marvelous. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.